Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief, so help you God? Let the record show that the witnesses answered in the affirmative. Thank you, and you please be seated.
The last time I appeared before your committee was July 11, 1974, during the impeachment inquiry of Richard Nixon. Clearly, I'm not here today as a fact witness. I accepted the invitation to come here today because I hope I can give a little historical perspective on the Mueller report. In many ways, the Mueller report is to President Trump what the so-called Watergate roadmap, officially titled the Grand Jury Report and Recommendation Concerning Transmission of Evidence to the House of Representatives, was to President Richard Nixon. Stated a little differently, Special Counsel Mueller has provided this committee with a roadmap.
We have a responsibility to do this work, to follow the facts where they lead, to make recommendations to the whole House as circumstances warrant, and to craft legislation that makes certain no president, Democrat or Republican, can ever act in this way again.
And I'm sort of reminded of the Russia priority issue because just a few years ago it was brought up and one of our candidates talked about Russia being a threat, and the former president, Mr. Obama, said, that the 80s are asking for their foreign policy back. Well, guess what? This committee is now hearing from the 70s, and they want their star witness back. In fact, it's very difficult for one of the witnesses here today, for many of us who could actually trace the distrust in government back to the witness here today, the 70 star of obstruction. In fact, I'll take it a little bit further. For those of us who've been looking into this for a while and wondering how we got started here, and for those of us who've heard me discuss the fact, and many on our committee and on our side discuss the fact of the corrupt cabal, what we see of Strzok, Page, McCabe, Comey, and others, how we actually got started here, I believe that they have the Godfather here today, Mr. Dean. In fact, they probably had a picture up. How do we actually use the governmental resources to interfere in other people's campaigns? Mr. Dean is the Godfather. They may even had a picture of you, knowing how you do it. And that is here today, again, to talk about a president that obviously you don't like,